Hey AfterBuzzers, your host Ashley Allen here, and we are here for another edition of Mini Spotlight On. And of course, tonight we have Mr. Eric Lampaert, comedian. You guys have seen him everywhere. Stay tuned to see what we talk about.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Well, Mr. Eric, how are you?
Hello.
How are you doing today?
Very good. I like that you said that you've seen him everywhere.
We have. We've seen you on HBO, Netflix.
That's true. But it seems scarier. Oh, you've seen him everywhere.
Everywhere?
This guy is everywhere.
But you know what? That's the point, though, right?
That's the dream. To like,
It's kind of creepy, but it's the
you know,
truth.
for people to go, hey, I recognize this guy. That'd be nice.
Yeah. And I mean, after today, they're going to see you in another place, right here on AfterBuzz TV.
That's the hope, yes.
Yes. All right, guys, I'm your host, Ashley Allen, and please introduce yourself to our guests who may not know you, for those who do know you.
Okay, my name is Eric Lampaert. I'm French, but I sound British, and now I live in America, which
welcome
is
to
pretty
America.
nice. Well, thanks a lot. I appreciate it. No one's actually said it since for 2 years. I've been waiting for someone to welcome me here.
Are you serious?
Thank you, Ashley. I appreciate it.
Welcome to America.
Thanks.
I don't know what that accent was, but
I like it. Hey, America's a cornucopia of accents. That was an acceptable one.
It is.
I don't know where it was from, but
It's my accent.
yeah,
I
it's
guess.
nice. I liked it.
Thanks. All right, so you are a comedian.
Yes.
Tell us, how did you get your start?
So I actually started because I loved Jim Carrey. I loved it. Like, I'm quite gangly and like fucking weird looking. Like I know how to use my face. In fact, I did clowning in Paris. I did studied clowning, and so I know how to use my body. And I would watch Jim Carrey films, and I was like, I love it. How do I get in there? How do I get in cinema?
Yeah.
And then I found out he did stand up, and then I found out like Robin Williams did stand up. I was like, oh, maybe I should do stand up. So stand up was never really the goal. It was like a step to something bigger.
Okay.
Now I love stand-up. I'm never going to give it up. It's a
Really?
to get like a crowd of 100, 1,000, 3,000 people to laugh at your own content, your own words, your own thoughts.
So what is it? Is it the adrenaline? Is it the people? Because I feel like stand-up is pretty scary.
Oh, it's terrifying. You know, it's not really natural to stand in front of a group of people and be vulnerable.
Yeah.
But if you can share your vulnerability and then all of a sudden they laugh, and they not just laugh at your mistakes, but they laugh because we're sort of connecting. Mm-hmm. You know, that's how like people really make connections, is when you're vulnerable and then someone goes, oh, I can relate to that.
Yeah.
We can now bond. And so that's the thing. That's like, it's that all over the world. I get to travel, you know, Cape Town, Paris and Quebec and stuff, and I share my ideas, and it's fun to see that all over the world we're quite similar. We've got similar like mistakes that we make in relationships, and it's fun.
Yeah.
It's really, really fun. I'm very lucky.
And I like to call comedians therapists, because I think that laughter is a form of therapy.
Yes.
What do you feel about
It is.
that?
It's a way for you to break away from your daily routine and just have a bit of just in the moment.
Yeah.
That's all we strive to be, right? Because we all worry about the future, we all worry about the past, and so when you go to a comedy club, if the comedian does a good job, you're in the moment. You know, we're like,
Yeah.
that's a great feeling.
Absolutely.
We're like drug dealers. We give you.
You are.
We give you endorphins.
Oh my God.
That's what it is. You're addicted to the laughter.
It is. That's true. I never thought about it like that.
But just so you know, we're addicted to it as well.
Okay.
To get off, I did a show in Quebec a few years ago, and it was my first standing ovation, because firstly in Europe they don't do that.
Really?
They're so cynical and miserable. I mean, I love my European brethren, but so miserable. I did a show in Paris. It was fully in French, and they did not laugh for an hour and a half. And not a single laughter, and I'm freaking out.
Yeah, what do you do?
So I just continue, right? You just get on with it, you tell your story, and you just move on because you're a professional.
Yeah.
And I come out of the theatre, and I've got my hoodie up, and I'm like, I don't want to talk to anybody. And they're all outside the theatre. I'm like, okay, I don't want to see them. And they come up to me like, oh, Rico, bravo, c'était incroyable, we loved it very much. And I'm like, wait, did you like it? And they were like, oh yeah, we loved it.
But they don't laugh.
And I was like, why didn't you laugh? And the most French thing ever, they were like, oh, we didn't want to interrupt.
Oh my
I was like, you
God.
for real? That is insane. Like, they didn't want to interrupt just in case, because they saw it as a piece of theatre. Like, France is still slightly behind when it comes to how stand-up is viewed and treated.
Okay.
That was tough.
So how do you take moments like that and like learn and build on it? Like, what do you do?
Well, I mean, every time you're on stage, it's an opportunity to learn and be better.
Yeah.
So I think every time I'm on stage, I work out, how to be better.
Okay.
And I think one of the things I had to get over was not everyone's going to like you.
Yeah.
Before, let's say there was 100 people, if 99 people were laughing but one wasn't, I would fixate on this person that wasn't laughing. And I was like, why aren't you laughing at my stuff? And now I'm like, screw him. Like, the 99 people that like me, they're the ones that I get to direct this to.
Yeah.
And if anything, good. I'm glad you don't like it. And then I sort of tease that person.
And I feel like, of course, you want the crowd to have a good time, but it's important for you to have a good time too, or else how are you going to have a good show?
Right. And I think people tap into that. I think people like seeing someone having a good time on stage.
Yeah.
I think one of the best compliments I had after a show was, it's like being at the pub with your mates. A pub is a bar. But yeah, basically, and I was like, oh, that's really nice.
Yeah.
It's essentially like I'm a friend on stage and I'm just telling you stories, but you're not allowed to interrupt.
Hey.
Like a friend.
Well, in America, we interrupt, okay?
Yeah,
Sometimes people are crazy, but we'll laugh.
That's all right. You're allowed to interrupt me, Ashley, at any moment.
All right, cool. I like it. So, of all of your experiences that you've had, shows, what would you say has been one of your favorite accomplishments or greatest memories that you've had?
I think one, we were talking just before that I'm so thankful that we get to travel doing this job. I'm so lucky. Last week I was in Cape Town, South Africa, just doing a job. It was just the best.
That's amazing.
And I climbed Tabletop Mountain, and I saw the Table Mountain, and it was one of the UNESCO World Heritage Sites, and I got to see this amazing view, and it felt like, thousands of years ago, if you were there and your tribes, you would climb up there and you'd go like, this is where the gods live. Like it was just stunning. And I got to experience that and experience the Cape Town audience because I talk about my balls. Like, that's insane.
Oh my God.
That's an amazing feeling.
Yeah.
But I think the moment that felt like, oh, I'm not a fraud anymore, was I started stand-up to do cinema. And I did a movie called Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets, directed by Luc Besson, who did Leon the Professional and Fifth Element. Like, I grew up watching those films. Yeah. And I was one of the characters in the film, and I do it. And that morning, they didn't tell me that I had lines to learn.
Oh my God.
And they were like, we're so sorry, but we forgot to give you the script. And I'm like, what? Because I had like some lines before and some lines afterwards, but I didn't know I had some today. And they're like, yeah, so sorry. So I'm learning them while getting my hair and makeup done. Yeah. And then I get on set, and Luke knows that I just learned it that morning. And I do it, I mess it up, and I'm like, oh, can I just do it one more time? And he's like, yeah, of course. And I do it, and I'm doing it while the actions are there. And there's an alien that's there, but he's not there because they're going to superimpose it. So I have to like be hit by it. It's insane.
Oh my God.
And the feeling when it was like, cut. And then Luke looked at me and he was like, that was amazing. Everybody, round of applause for Eric. And that moment where I'm just on set with like 300 people and they're all applauding my acting. That was like, oh, like I'm an actor now. Yeah. Because I never used to be able to say that before. There's so many actors out there in Los Angeles who are also waiters and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But you have to proudly say, I am an actor.
Absolutely.
But before that, I was like, am I an actor, or am I just being stupid, or am I just playing myself? Because we're always sort of playing versions of ourselves. Mm-hmm. But to actually go, oh, I'm good at this now. Yeah. That felt good.
That's awesome. I love that.
That was
story.
A nice feeling.
It's very inspiring. Yeah. And you have to own it. I mean, because if you don't believe it, who else is going to believe it?
Right.
You got to believe in yourself.
You got to have your own back.
Exactly.
My friend Ashlyn B, she's a lovely comedian, and she said to me, the cavalry isn't coming. Because we're always like going, oh, we've got a team behind us, and they'll help us and stuff. But they're also worrying about their own thing. Yeah. And actually, you got to be your own cavalry, your own general, your own nurse, your own everything. I don't know why I described it like a war, but I'm at war. Yeah. And I want to win it.
I love that. Listen, you got some knowledge here. Right. Dropping some knowledge.
Are you surprised?
I like it though. I love it. Well, I mean, because I think sometimes a lot of people have this stereotype or this vision of comedians that everything is a joke, or that they, don't have certain life experiences. But I love that you have like some depth, like you have a story.
Mate, I'm funny on stage. Like, you ain't paying me for this.
Right.
I'm not going to be funny for free.
So do you find a difference between, what's the difference between, I would say, being a comedian and acting in a film versus being on stage and doing stand-up? Well, does it take a different set of skills?
Being a comedian is I'm sort of myself,
Yeah.
or a heightened version of myself. While acting, I'm tapping into what it is to be human. But ultimately, I'm a totally different character. I can have a different voice and all of that. So
Yeah.
I think the joy in acting is that you're not yourself. Mm-hmm. That's the beauty of it. But I think there was an interview with Dustin Hoffman, and he talked about how, let's say you had to play Saddam Hussein. There was a moment where Saddam Hussein was playing with his grandkid. And it's like, yeah, of course, he's a dictator, but he's also a granddad.
Yeah.
Like, he's also human.
Yeah.
So how can you, like, when people say, like, what role do you want to play? I'm always like, serial killer, or like, like a sexual predator or something really terrible.
Yeah.
Because that's not who I am.
Right.
But therefore, how do I tap into that? Like, that's a real challenge. Because at the moment, I'm always playing something that's like a drug dealer or a rock and roll person,
Right.
which I see why. But I've had enough of being typecast. I want to play something dark and creepy.
I hear you.
I'll get there.
I feel like if I was an actor, I would be the same way. I would want to play something completely opposite.
Yeah.
Make it worthwhile. Make it fun.
Because sometimes you watch Hollywood movies, and especially like action films and cop movies, like the general, the boss, is always the same person in the movies. There's always like, because they're good at it, but then they appear and just do the same roles.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
Yeah, let's take the crazy roles and then we'll get therapy after to make sure we're okay and move on to the next role.
That'd be nice.
Yeah. All right, so I want to talk about your recently released comedy album.
Yes.
Alien of Extraordinary Ability.
Yeah.
Explain to me that title.
Well, when you apply to enter America on an O1 visa, which means that you, let's say I'm an artist, you get given the title Alien of Extraordinary Ability. You're an alien because you're a foreigner, and you've got an extraordinary ability. So scientists, artists, sports personalities, all of those are extraordinary abilities. Mm-hmm. So my stand-up, no pressure, but is an extraordinary ability.
Okay.
So that's what it's called. And so I love that instead of foreigner or something, the American government went, he's an alien of extraordinary ability. I love that.
It sounds even better in your accent.
Yeah, alien of extraordinary ability. So I really enjoyed that as a title. I was like, oh, that's who I am.
Yeah.
And so my album is kind of about life in Europe versus life in America, and sort of try and transition from here to there. Okay.
Yeah, I took a sneak peek listen to your album, Relatable Erotica.
Yes.
Hilarious.
Neurotica, yeah. So it's basically, I'm not anymore. Weirdly, I'm not neurotic anymore. I recently got rid of that. But I spent my 20s just this neurotic ball of annoyance, just worrying about the future all the time or worrying about the past. Mm-hmm. And so when you have sex as a man, I don't know, can you swear here? Can you say naughty things?
Yes, you can.
Right? Like, staying hard is sometimes hard because, like, while you're having sex, you'll be worrying about something and then you're, oh, fucking hell, and then you lose your erection. And so, like, I was, in porn, it's always these guys who and they can last for so long.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's not real.
That's not real.
That's not reality. So I wrote some neurotic erotica for people, who find it hard.
It's absolutely hilarious. If you guys please go listen to it. I was listening to it at my other job, and when I tell you, people were looking at me like, what is wrong with this girl?
Oh, nice. Well, I'm glad that you enjoyed it. Well, I appreciate it.
I really enjoyed it. Last point that I can't let you get out of here. We have to talk about, I heard that you can recite Shakespeare in 2 languages.
Oh, yeah.
Let's take us out of this interview. Say something in French for me. Or teach me a sentence.
Être ou ne pas être? Ça, c'est la question.
Oh, that's too long. I can't.
It's to be or not to be. That is the question, right?
Oh, okay.
But what do you want to know? Give me a sentence and I'll translate.
How about, let's do this. Tell everyone where to find you on social media.
Okay.
In French.
Bonjour tout le monde, donc je m'appelle Eric Lampaert et vous pouvez me trouver sur Instagram ou Twitter ou Facebook, et en fait c'est mon nom, Eric Lampaert.
I love it.
Yeah, I just said my name.
Yeah. And for English speakers, it should be down there. So
it's basically my name, Eric Lampaert. Thank you.
Well, it's been so great having you here today.
Thanks for having me, I appreciate it.
Great conversation.
I wish this was longer.
High five. You're awesome.
All right, nice.
All right, guys, you know where to find me, Ashley Allen, on all social media at Ashley Reed Allen. And until next time, you can catch us here on AfterBuzz TV and Mini Spotlight. We'll see you next time.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, knows what AfterBuzz TV. we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.